Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to use the Pugmill. A couple of important things I want to talk about first is preparing the Pugmill to get ready to use it and to pug clay out of it. The first thing you want to do is you want to check this vacuum chamber. If there's a bunch of clay around this seal, also, you want to make sure you get any scraps of clay out of this vacuum chamber. So that's the very first thing that I do. If you got a bunch of clay in here and there's clay around this seal, you're not going to be able to get a good seal for the de-airing. So check that first. I'm just going to throw that in the slop bin. So if you're starting from scratch, the first thing you want to do is get your slop barrel. Now notice there's a bunch of water in the top of this. What you're going to want to do is we've got the siphon over by the sink, or just take a sponge and you want to get all of that residual water that's just hanging out on top, and all you want is slop. So don't put water plus slop into the mixer or it's going to not work out right and it's going to be too soft, okay? So using the slop, what you want to do, there's an auger in the middle of this machine here, this Pugmill, this chamber that mixes the clay up. What I like to do is I like to put slop from the slurry barrel up to the bottom of the auger so you can still see the top of the auger. And then you're going to use the dry mix bin, which we make the dry mix materials here. The recipe for the dry mix for the stoneware and the earthenware are right here. And one just important key step about mixing dry mix, when you weigh it out and you stick an amount in, and then you weigh out another material, make sure you thoroughly mix those two up before adding another one. Just make sure that dry mix is really thoroughly incorporated. Really important step is you want to wear this respirator so you don't inhale that stuff into your lungs. And then the other thing you want to do when you're mixing dry mix and when you're doing this is to make sure that this fan is on. So I'm going to turn it off because it's kind of hard to see or to hear. So make sure you turn this on. And you want to make sure that this door to my studio is mostly shut so you don't get a lot of dust in there. And then also make sure that this door is shut and the other door is shut as well. Okay, so this has been already, this is full of clay ready to pug out. What we did is we put the slop in first, and then we put scoops of dry mix in here. This is the hopper. We poured some dry mix in here and then we let it mix up, and then we did that maybe 2 or 3 times, and we got this to the consistency that we want. Now what we're looking for is all of the powder to be gone. There's no powder in there, and this clay, you want it to be the consistency that you want to have in your bag when you're ready to throw on the wheel. So if it's too soft, don't pug it out, add a little bit more. Now, if you have a full hopper here and it's still too soft, take a little bit out, stick it on the table, and then put a little bit more dry mix in. And then go through the process of closing this down. It's on mix right now, so then you hit start, mix it up, get it to the consistency that you want. So that's what the process is. If it's too wet, take some out, add some more dry mix, and get it to that consistency. Okay, so that's important. Now, after it's thoroughly mixed and ready to go, the best results are when this Pugmill is totally full. If it's only about that full and there's still room from about here up, it's not going to pug very good. Okay. So in this case, it's pretty much all the way to the top, all right? So it's on mix. In order to de-air it, we got to turn the vacuum on. But one of the first things you've got to do, this valve has to be shut. Right now it's open. I'm going to shut this valve, so it's going to trap the air in this vacuum chamber here, okay? So shut the valve. While it's on mix, you keep it on mix. Turn it on vacuum. Okay, and you'll see that this vacuum chamber is filling up full of de-airing the air out of that this wear chamber, the chamber where the clay is. Okay. If for some reason that the gauge is not working and it's not moving, it means that you don't have enough clay in there. So make sure, open it up, shove clay all the way down into this cone, really push the clay down inside the hopper, and then maybe add some more dry mix and some more slop and really make sure it's nice and full. It doesn't de-air very well if the chamber is not completely full, okay? So we're good, it's completely de-aired. What you do next is you turn it to pug. So you keep the vacuum on and you turn it to pug. You take this off, and then this is going to pug out. It's going to start pushing this clay out. It takes a couple seconds. So about a 14-inch log. What I'll do is I'll do a couple of these and then I'll show you how to bag this clay up. Okay? So if the clay is shredding and it's not coming out like this, it means the clay is too wet. Okay? So that's pretty good. I'm going to shut this off. Okay? The vacuum is still on. I'm just going to turn this off for a minute while I show you how to bag up clay. Okay? So what I would do is I would pug all of that clay out of here and line it up right here on the table. One thing I want to make sure that you don't forget is every time you put a batch of slop in there below the auger, put 1/8 cup of Epsom salt solution in there. What that does is it flocculates that clay body, makes all those clay particles stick together, and it makes for a better throwing clay body. Okay? So for bagging up clay, we've got this scale here, this pound scale. Turn it on. I'm gonna open my bag up like this, okay? And I'm gonna put a log of clay on there like that. And we sell 25 pound bags of reclaim. So that's 20 pounds. Let's see where we're at on that. That's 25 and a half. 25, okay? So once I get the amount of clay that I want on there, I'm gonna take this off the scale and just kind of smash this down. All right, to bag this up, so I have this bag open. I'm gonna start folding it in on itself. Push that down, and then I'm gonna bring this over like this. This essentially kind of helps double bag it. So get that nice and wrapped up like this. Then take your marker, and I just do SW for stoneware. Stoneware, and then I do today's date, which is 11/2. Okay? I think that's it.